Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the How to Film Weddings podcast. My name is Nick Miller, and today I am flying solo, giving John the week off. I wanted to do this and just chat about a few things that are going on in my world. As of recording this, it is spring break here. My kids are out of school. We have just spent some time in Colorado. My parents live there. And I hadn't actually been up to their house in quite some time. It's been over a year since I had been there. And I thought, you know what? Let's go to Colorado. Let's have a good time with the family. Let's go hang out with my parents. Have a good time. So been in Colorado hanging out, relaxing for a few days, and I have been pumping out a lot of ambient retreat content. If you don't know what that is my ambient YouTube channel. And big news, I just hit my 1,000 subscribers, so I can now monetize the channel, which is very exciting for me. I didn't think it would happen this quick. I really started pouring into it in January, and mid-March, I got monetized. So that's very exciting for me over there. Anyway, I'm not sure that you really care too much about that. But today I am talking about website upkeep, website things that you should be considering for right now. I know John has been spending a lot of time about consultations and bookings, but another presence that matters so much is your website and your presence on the internet. And I am currently going through and updating my website, adding, changing some copy, changing the layout, doing a whole lot of stuff. And I just wanted to share a few things that I have picked up or stuff that I've known from a while ago and do a website all about websites. Sorry, not a website about website, an episode all about websites. I want to talk about that for a little bit. But before I get in and I dig in and start talking about website stuff, I want to talk about our outsourcing partners over at howtofilmweddings.com/outsourcing. We have a couple of great businesses over there that we have vetted, brideandgroom.video and Story Mix Editing. They are going to help you as the year goes on. So if you are a person that, you like filming, you like doing business stuff, but the editing really bogs you down, or there are things that you want to do in your business, but you don't have time for it, I highly recommend you consider outsourcing. Our partners can do anything from culling all the way through complete edit, color, audio, all the stuff that you want. Check it out. It is going to lighten your load. It's going to make you feel better about your business. It's going to help you get your time back so you can focus on the things that are really important to you, like maybe updating and figuring out your website. So I highly recommend brideandgroom.video and Story Mix Editing over at howtofilmweddings.com/outsourcing. So today, as I said, I'm going to sit here and talk about some things that I have been thinking about, some things that I have learned about redoing or updating my website. Now, this isn't necessarily a top 5 list or a top 10 list or anything like that, but I just want to talk through a few things that I have been considering, a few things that I have been doing as I have been updating my website. So the very first thing that I want to talk about is going to be your header image, that thing that people see immediately whenever they go to your website. Now, with how internet goes and how things are going, things are changing drastically with this. A lot more video is being included in that, but it's not just for desktop, it's also for mobile. I know Show It, that is a new feature that is going on. And I remember whenever we first added video to our header image, our header space, our hero space there, first thing that you see whenever you go to the website is, I would spend a lot of time curating this thing, and I wanted to make this nice 10, 15, 20, 30 second thing that people could sit there and watch and really enjoy. Now, all of the data shows that people are not staying on that image for very long. We're talking maybe 2 seconds. If that, sometimes it's even less, maybe a maximum of 5. And so I have talked to so many people that are wanting to curate this header image, this hero image, this video that is on your website, that lives on your website, and spending a lot of time and energy doing that. When the data shows that people just aren't looking at it. So a couple suggestions. One, I think that at the most, this should be a looping 5 to 8 second video if you're going to put a video on there. Just 5 to 8 seconds. And then the other thing that you should do with that is have it speak to the type of clients, speak to the type of people that you want to work with. Okay, so make sure that you put on there faces of people if, those are the kind of things that you want. So a couple recommendations. One, make sure you put faces of people. People want to see other people enjoying themselves, and make sure that they are, again, it's really showing off the type of stuff that you want to work with. If that's an epic, couple standing there looking at the camera on the coast, or maybe it's, on the dance floor and the party and the hype and the excitement, but showing those people's faces. If you want to show off that you do luxury or very high end, very nice looking weddings, maybe a shot that you include is going to be some gorgeous reception details, a gorgeous ceremony detail, something that really shows off this is expensive and I do this really, really well. Those are going to be the couple things that I would recommend showing off. Another one is going to be, if you do destination stuff, show the type of wedding that you really like to do in that header image. But again, we're talking 5 to 8 seconds, 3 clips, maybe 4 at the most, because people are not hanging out in this spot very often, or for very long is what I should be saying. So I wouldn't stress about creating this 30-second edit. I would do something that is just a few seconds that can maybe grab some attention, show the type of stuff that you want to do before people move on. The next thing that you need to do with your website is you need to make sure that it's optimized by having as small a file sizes as possible. Whenever it comes to SEO and search engine stuff, Google likes to have websites that load very, very quickly. So if you have a lot of videos on there and you're trying to upload these massive files, it's taking a long time to load, Google isn't going to like that. It's going to really knock off your search whenever it comes. So make sure things are optimized. When it comes to video, I know on Showit, which is what I use, you can only have it's about an 8 megabyte file for video files. Using something like Handbrake is going to really reduce those file sizes and get them as small as you possibly can. But I would recommend having a small file size that still looks really, really good. Have something very, very tiny. For all imagery, for all photos, it should be under 1 megabyte, and probably even half a megabyte if you can. Just something very small. Again, for website stuff, you don't need these massive, massive images. Pixel, you don't need a 5,000 by 7,000 pixel image on your website. I know that photographers are going to deliver that, or you might take that kind of stuff. But again, that's just going to slow down your load page. So anything that you can crunch images to make them smaller so that the file size is as small as you can, that is going to help you. So optimizing your website, that's something that I have gone through, where I took all these images and I pulled them off and I was like, man, this one still that I took from my image, I wanted high quality. And so it's like 2 megabytes, which isn't all that big, but whenever the entire website has a bunch of high megabyte images, that's really going to slow down the performance of my website. So figure something out with that. And then along with optimizing your site when it comes to the images and the type of stuff that you do, make sure that it's mobile friendly. I know that most web platforms, I know that Squarespace has an auto turn your website into mobile. And I'm not sure about Wix. I know that's another popular one. With Showit, you actually build those two things out. And the problem that I have focused so much on the desktop that I get in there and the mobile one doesn't look correct. And so I'm like, man, I published this thing and it looks really, really bad, because you have to actually edit them both separately. So make sure that your website is mobile friendly so that whenever people pull it up on their phones, and the data shows that well over 60% of people are looking at your website on their phone. Make sure it looks nice. Make sure it's spaced out right, and make sure that all of the images, there's no overlap. There's not, things that are running off the page. Make sure that it's mobile friendly and looks really nice. Okay. Before I continue with some website stuff, I want to talk to you about one of our sponsors, VidFlow. They are the premier service for delivering your wedding films. If you really want to wow your couples, if you want to take your presence online, if you want to really improve the whole client experience, I want to recommend VidFlow. Clients can go in. It's like an online DVD is what it looks like if you don't know. And, you can present it in a way couples can download their video straight from VidFlow site onto your computer. They also have a mobile app where you can show it on your TV. It's really great. We love VidFlow. John and I exclusively use them, and we have for years. If you would like more information about them and their services, head over to howtofilmweddings.com/VidFlow, and there you can sign up for this amazing product. One thing I love is it's cost per project. Like, you're not tied into a long-term subscription or anything like that. It's cost per project, so you only pay for what you need. Again, that's howtofilmweddings.com/VidFlow. Another thing that I have been, considering and learning and figure out when it comes to my website is the navigation. Okay. And what do I mean by the navigation? I mean the bar at the top and the things that you are linking to and how it goes on your website. But more specifically than just the navigation, also, I'm going to talk about mobile navigation. So first, let's talk about your navigation bar on your website, your homepage on the desktop. Okay. You should have, the things that you want to link people to, your homepage, your about page, maybe services, your film, if you have a blog, and then the contact. Okay, the contact. Now, the one thing that Donald Miller says is he says in his book, Building a Story Brand, is make sure that the thing that you want them to do the most, which is contact you, that button is bolded, is bigger, is a different color. It really stands out. So that's number one. I think it's like we're almost scared, a lot of people, to ask for what we want on our website, and that is for people to reach out to us, for people to contact us. So that navigation bar, you should have all of those things, and then make the contact button be a different color, be bolded, be something where it really stands out. Another thing that your navigation bar should be is what is called sticky. And what that means is that whenever you scroll down the page, the navigation bar stays at the top. Now, that way, as people are looking around and as they're reading their website and they're figuring out more about you, it is easy for them to go where they want to go whenever they read that, right? So as you're scrolling down your page, your contact bar, your contact button, your about, your services, all that, it just stays at the top. Okay, that is another thing. People often, they don't have that feature enabled, and they don't have a lot of calls to action, which I'm going to talk about here in a second, on their landing page or on their homepage or anything like that. And so you scroll down to the bottom and there's no links, and they're like, I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. So having a sticky navigation bar is going to be a really good idea. Also, having it stand out, whether that is going to be a different color, it be outlined in something, maybe it's all black, something where it's easy to find and easy to see. If most of your website is white, but your hero image has all this color on it, so you have these white navigation bar at the top, and then you're scrolling down. Maybe it's there, but it's all white, and your website is mostly white, so it's really hard to see those things. So make sure you figure out a way so it's easy to see and it is sticky all the way through. The other thing is going to be on mobile navigation. Okay. Now you're going to have the hamburger or the hot dog or whatever button typically on the mobile navigation, where you click that and then it opens up another screen. Again, that should also be sticky. As you're scrolling down on mobile, you should be able to have that bar everywhere as you are scrolling around. So whenever you click on that, it always appears. those are again, the sticky navigation is going to be really huge whenever you are linking stuff on your website, giving more people more opportunities to reach out to you with that. Other thing along kind of with navigation is going to be calls to action. What is a call to action? That means it is a button. It is something that is on the website that is encouraging someone to take action and do something. So as you're scrolling down and there is a photo of you, you're explaining who you are, what you do, whatever you put on your website. Then there is a call to action button that says, learn more about Nick. And so you click on that and then it takes to the About page. Whenever there's an image of your videos, you click on that, it takes you to your portfolio page or your videos page or whatever you want to do at that. There are going to be calls to actions everywhere. Now, one thing that you want to do when it comes to calls to action is have a button on your hero header image with a video or a photo, whatever that might be. Have something on that hero image above the fold is what they call it. So it's going to be your home screen right there, front and center. Now on desktop, you're going to have in the top right, okay, you're going to have a call to action there to contact you, but then there in the header image, header video, whatever, that hero image there on your page, you should have a call to action. And again, one of the big reasons for that is typically on mobile, you have to click on the hamburger to open it up so that they can go do the next thing. So on the mobile site now, on that header image that's right there, right when they open up, there is a contact me right there in the button. There's a contact me right there where people can click on it and then it will take them to contact them if they want to do that right away. Highly recommend doing something like that. Again, the more calls to actions you have, you should have on your landing page, your homepage, several calls to action that take people all over your website. If you have, you're going to say about me, your services, your portfolio, maybe a blog, contact, those are 5 different buttons. You should on your homepage probably have 5 different links on your webpage taking people to various things. Okay, the idea here is that as people are looking at your website, learning more information, they are going to continue the journey with you and go to another page on your website. You want people to get lost in your website as you think of it like that. Another thing with these call to action buttons, don't make them too cutesy. Don't make them really small. Don't have just a little small arrow, about little small arrow, and it's really hard to click on that. Have them be a button that is easy to read and easy to see. Now, this is probably a conversation that is going to be very divided among the artistic people and the business people. Business first kind of people are like, yes, all the call to actions, make it big. I don't care if it's ugly. I just want people to go to contact me. I want them to go see this thing. I want them to go do that. Where more of the artistic people, that aesthetic really, really matters. So like, I want it to be minimal. I want it to be small. I don't want anything on there. I don't really want all these links and all that sort of stuff. Okay. Again, most people need something that's a little bit bigger, that's a little bit fuller, so that they can go and click on that to go to the next thing. There is a fine balance, and you're going to need to decide what that is for your business, right? Do you want something that's big and in your face and red? I don't necessarily recommend that, but also having something that's really small, that's hard to find and hard to see, it's going to be difficult. All right, it's going to be difficult for them to go to where you want them to go whenever they have a tough time clicking on that. So make sure that your navigation is easy to read, it's easy to see, and then there's a differentiator on that contact button so that it will send them there, make those sticky, and then have your calls to action, have them all over the place. You're sending people where you want them to go, and make sure that they're easy to read and understand. I know it's popular for a while to say something on the contact form, say hi. Now, we know what that means whenever you click on that. And is that you're going to send them a text? Is it going to fill out the contact form? Is it going to send them an email? Are you sending, what does that mean? Make sure these buttons are fairly specific so that as the person that is going through your website, they know and they understand what it is that you are talking about and what is expected of them. If it's contact us or inquire, that makes sense. If it's drop us a note, what does that mean? Say hello. Okay, I kind of get the idea, but what does that mean? Pretend that the person going through your website has absolutely no clue what you mean. Think through it in that regard, and that might really help you as you are deciphering and figuring out what to put on your website. Before I continue, I want to talk about our friends over at MusicBed. MusicBed is the premier place to find your music for your wedding films. John and I have exclusively used them since the beginning. I don't know, a really, really long time, 10 plus years, we have been using MusicBed. It is an incredible service, the best place for wedding filmmakers to find music on the internet for their wedding films. So if you would like more info, you can get a 2-week free trial where you can actually download 3 songs for free. Head over to howtofilmweddings.com/musicbed. Get that free trial. MusicBed is my favorite. It is incredible. They have the best music. There's a reason that they have that reputation. I highly recommend them. As we are continuing on this, whenever John and I have done several website reviews over the past few years through our mastermind groups and through mentor sessions and through all that kind of stuff, one of the things that really seems to be lacking on most people's websites is imagery of themselves. People are like, my work speaks for themselves, or, I don't want to be in front of the camera, or fill in the blank, whatever. All right. People like to buy from people. People like to know who they are getting into business with. And so your face on your website is going to help communicate that and send a message to the people that you are wanting to work with. We recommend you have at least 1 or 2 looking at the camera, smiling, looking nice in the brand aesthetic that you want to set up. Looking at the camera so that people can connect with your eyes. So go in, update that kind of imagery. If you don't have that, set up a camera, do some self-portraits, contact a photographer friend, work something out so that maybe they can take a few shots of you. Maybe as you're at a wedding later this year, on the dance floor, go up to the couple and be like, hey, photo, can you take a picture of us really quick? I'll gladly give you a $10 Starbucks gift card, or, something like that. I'll get you some coffee, get some imagery of you. Ask the photographer, hey, if you can snap a few photos of me working today, I would gladly get some video for you, and kind of swap out something like that. Okay. That is something that you should really be considering and that you should really be doing. Updating your imagery. I know that on the current website that's on the internet, the photo of me is on there from like 2018 or 2019 or something like that. It's 6 or 7 years old. We have taken some new headshots, and we're going to be updating all of that on our website here pretty soon. So that is another thing that you should really consider. Whenever it comes to the copy on your website, make sure that the fonts are really easy to read. Don't do, when it comes to big chunks of text, break that up as much as you can. Instead of having 1 long paragraph, could you split that up into 2 or 3 paragraphs? Another thing is, don't have everything be in all caps. Whenever everything is all caps, maybe outside of a 1-line title or something like that, a header for a section, that would be okay if that were in caps. But whenever it comes to paragraph or chunks of text, break it down, have it be as small as possible. Meaning, you don't want 8 sentences that are just going to go. And so it's lots and lots of text. People are going to gloss over that and not read it. Also, make sure that it is not in all caps. People, again, that is a turnoff whenever people go to read and everything is all in caps. So make sure there's some separation, make sure there's some spacing between sentences, break it up a little bit, but then also have it be like a normal, you're reading a book or you're reading an article or something like that, where it's, capital T at the beginning of the sentence, the wedding filmmaker, that's your sentence, but it is written how you would normally write. Okay, have that on there. That's just going to help people as they sit down and as they read. It's easier for them to read and easier for them to digest whenever it's not in all caps. The last thing that I want to talk about before I wrap all of this thing up is your pricing. I know that this is a hotly debated topic in our industry. Do you include any pricing? Do you include your full pricing? Do you include a starting rate? Do you include a range? Do you include nothing? What is it that you should do? I really think that as people are moving into, I want more transparency, I want more authenticity, I want that kind of thing, I think that you should really have at least a starting rate or a range that people pay. One, it helps them know, oh, this is what this person charges and gets, their frame of reference. But also, unless you just absolutely need lots and lots of inquiries, if you have at least a starting price, that should cut down on the number of people that are going to reach out to you and pre-qualify some of those people a little bit. A few places that I recommend having a price range are going to be maybe if you have a services page, somewhere on the services page, collections starting at, local collections starting at, if you travel a lot, something like that. And then you can put, 5,000, 8,000, whatever that number is. And then that take them to their contact form, maybe below your portfolio page, where you want them to contact you, but they see all your work and they're like, okay, this is kind of the range, and it goes over there. Maybe next to your contact form, you should have a photo of you on your contact form next to where it is, and maybe below that you say collections starting at. Again, this is just going to weed out some of those people that don't have the budget to hire you. But if you want more inquiries, then you should maybe remove your pricing altogether from your website. Your inquiries are going to tick up, but then how many people are going to reach out to you? What is that experience going to be like? How often do you want to deal with that? So those are a few things that I would recommend considering on your website. Let me go over them again. One, your header image, your hero image that is on your home page. Don't have a really long video because people are not going to watch it. They're not going to sit there and watch that really long video. Have something that's just a few seconds, maybe 10 seconds max, 8 to 10 seconds max. A few clips that show off the type of stuff that you want to do. Optimizing your website with file sizes, and also making sure that you can read it on mobile. It looks good on mobile. Your navigation at the top, your contact button should be bigger, bolder, a little bit different, something that differentiates it from the other buttons, because that's the main thing that you want people to do, and to have that navigation be sticky, meaning that it is always on top whenever you are scrolling on mobile or desktop. It always stays there so that people can click on that if they want, and then having more calls to actions, and having those calls to action be something that you can easily see and easily click on, so that you can take them so that they'll go where you want them to go. Update your imagery, have some nice photos of you looking at camera, smiling, looking professional. And then, as your copy on your website, how it's laid out, again, normal book, magazine, like that kind of font should be on there, just meaning, written normal, not all caps, not all lower caps. It looks nice and spaced out just a little bit. Big chunks of text are a big turnoff to a lot of people. And then your pricing, you're going to need to decide if you want to do full pricing list, which we don't recommend. And if you want to know more about that, we can get you some information about that. Or a starting price or a starting range. That's what we recommend, so that people know what they're getting into, or nothing at all. And again, it should really boost the number of inquiries that you get. Whew. That was a long-winded episode for me being solo here. But again, your website is very, very important. John has been talking about growing his business and all the things that you need to do, and your presence on social media and in the discovery calls and the proposals and all that sort of stuff. But your website needs to look a certain way so that people take you seriously. They take you as a professional that knows what it is that you are doing. I hope that this episode has been helpful with you kind of cleaning up your website. I know that for the longest time it was like, oh yeah, I just got my website done. And I look at it and I was like, oh, it's been this way since 2008 2018 or 2019 or something like that. It's always something that we put off on the back burner until we have time. It's not that important. So, maybe outsourcing your edits or outsourcing some of the day-to-day stuff that you do is going to help you free up time so that you can get a website that is how you want it to be. Or maybe this is something that you really need to outsource, your website, and get that all set up and get that all done so that you can, have the presence that you want online. Thank you so much to all of our sponsors that have been with us for a long time here over at How to Film Weddings. Bride and Groom Bot Video, Story Mix Editing, VidFlow, and MusicBed. We really appreciate you and partnering with us and all the things that you do. Head over to our website if you would like to learn more about any of these incredible sponsors. Man, I don't have much else to say. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions about websites, if you have any question about anything that I said, why don't you send me a DM over at How to Film Weddings? I would really appreciate that, and I would love to get back to you and answer any questions that you have to say. If you go check out my website, wildoakfilms.com, there's a lot of the stuff that I've shared that isn't on there currently. Over the last month, I have been really digging in and digging deep and figuring out what my new website is going to look like. It is almost ready to launch. I am very excited to get that up and running. So thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, we will see you.